Tom Holland goes wild with those stunts, and please understand, he's not as invincible as his Spidey counterpart for those dangerous scenes in Uncharted. Want to know more? Let's look at some of the most dangerous stunts that Tom endured, for our enjoyment, of course. Number 1. This scene was just too complex for us to take on in one segment, so we'll just go ahead and start off with those crates. Of course, they wouldn't have a world-famous actor jump out of a plane, so VFX coordinators utilized a robotic arm and some blue screen to really place him in the safest harm they could.
Our motto is that things should look dangerous while being safe. That's not always the case.
The final look certainly fooled us, and have no fear because even the crates were fake. Yes, that's right. It looks to us they opted for a softer material than wood, and good thing too, because jumping onto a wooden crate screams splinters to us. Number 2. Part 2 of Tom's most dangerous stunt is actually the start of it. It all begins with an unsecured car ramming Nathan Drake off a plane. This time, it pretty much felt like Tom was actually getting hit by one for real. It didn't take just one time to get the scene right. It took a whopping 17 takes over a series of weeks to finally sell the hit. Poor Tom really had to work out with this one.
So my parents were always like, why are you so tired all the time?
But wait, it gets worse. Holland's own mother was unlucky enough to visit the set and witness her boy amidst the chaos. We can only imagine how many times she screamed at Tom to look both ways. Number 3. There are worse things than being hit by a blue car. How about being injured during a sword fight? Fortunately, not the sword accident you were thinking about, but Tom did get some pretty bad tendinitis while sword fighting alongside Mark Wahlberg. He assures everyone that any swordplay is not in his future, saying he will never do it again. And even worse, he had to jump on a flight while recovering to film Spider-Man No Way Home. Seriously, his break from acting couldn't have come sooner. He needs an ice bath. Number 4. Tom took a nasty fall on some rooftop tiles during a pretty chaotic rooftop scene. Who knew falling on a bunch of hard roof tiles could do so much damage? And the damage to his body was pretty severe, describing his injured hips being black and blue after the incident. But like all of his stunts gone wrong, Tom always walked away with his body and mind intact, saying, "I walked away from every stunt, but I definitely limped from a few." Number 5. How does one convincingly skydive in front of a blue screen? Well, it takes a whole lot of wires. They hooked Tom up with a ton of them, spinning him around in every direction. They even subjected him to hanging upside down and flailing about. Good thing he's used to this kind of thing, because this would have made us sick within the first 2 seconds. Number 6. One word for this one: ouch. Holland's heavy stunt work wasn't always protected by harnesses, as it is apparent in this painful looking scene. Instead of using a stunt double, he just really wanted to be slammed in the side of a table, we guess. Our question is, how do you just walk away from that one? Number 7. Tom Holland doesn't have a huge fancy for wires and harnesses, and that chandelier leap really needed a whole lot of them. He really trusted those stunt coordinators to keep those strings strong, and luckily he walked away unscathed. But even with all those strings, if just one of them broke, things could have ended badly for our Spidey actor. Number 8. An A-lister's teeth are kind of their forte, so any risk to those shiny chompers has got to go. Holland always had to wear a ring around his neck, and this ring kept bouncing up and hitting his teeth. But as he expressed his concerns to the prop master, they were able to make a simple fix with a rubber alternative. Number 9. Like we've hinted at throughout this video, Tom really doesn't like wires. It seems like he got injured more often than not on them. Doing all those high kicks probably did a number on his hamstrings. We guess he'll be taking a long hard look at future roles, because the way he describes it, they did more harm than good. Number 10. Holland went from amateur to stunt professional in a very short amount of time. All of the training he had received prior to Uncharted really made the preparation for the film more, you could say, simple. His Peter Tingle really came in handy and worked well with Mark. Although, Tom reportedly worked hard to impress his co-star. Little did he know that Wahlberg was just acting old to get away from the heavy stunts.
I'm already working on my old boy skin.
We're so glad to see Tom Holland make it out of this one intact. Not to say he may be angry with himself a few years down the road, but knowing he did this for his own satisfaction, it seems like everything worked out just fine in the end. Do you think we'll see Tom get a little more dangerous with his stunts in the future? Let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching The Things.